Last year for Carnival, first time I play mass. You all remember that intro to that soca tune from KMC?
Yeah.
You remember? Every time I hear that soca song, I remember why I love Trinidad Carnival and the first time that I played mass. Madam Toastmaster of the meeting, members of the executive, specially invited guests, fellow Toastmasters. I remember wanting to play mass for many years before I was able to do so. You see, the deal was, if I really wanted to play mass, I would have to fund it myself. And due to my financial situation as a student in high school, there was no way I was able to do so. So I had to wait. But don't get me wrong, waiting was not too bad. I became an avid stormer. I would plot a plan with my friends to meet at my grandmother's home on Stone Street in Port of Spain, and we would plot our plan as to which band we would storm, which band we would jump up with, and what band security detail would kick us out. I remember every year it would be the same thing. We would hit Poison first. But let me take you back down memory lane. Poison was huge. Anybody who wanted to have fun while playing mass would play with Poison. Which meant that all the stormers were there too. Poison would take up major streets in Port of Spain with masqueraders and music trucks, and it was truly hard to control. Our second move was simple: find Hearts. We knew that on our way to Hearts, we would meet Peter Minshall, Barbarossa, legends, you all remember these ones? Trini Revelers, and the list goes on. But the feeling that I got when I approached Hearts and the music from the music truck vibrating through my entire body, I knew this was for me. So it was no surprise that as soon as I got my first job and my first paycheck, I started a carnival fund. I started putting aside money to fund my guilty pleasure. And I wasn't alone. I had my cousin Nikila with me and my best friend Charisse, and we were planning and plotting how we're going to save this money and play mass. When the band started to launch their costumes, we were intrigued, to say the least. We started scrutinizing the band websites and looking at all the costumes, studying, which one we're going to play with. I remember looking at Poison, and I was thinking, but this is the first time I'm playing mass. I can't play mass in a bra and some beads. I have to do something better than that. We finally all agreed on one costume, the prettiest costume we had ever seen. It was in Hearts. It was called Vixen. It had a huge headpiece. It was teal in color. It had a long flowing cape. It had silver accents and beads. It was really pretty. We all said yes to that costume, and we paid. I was really focused on the costume aspect of playing mass. So much so, I was not studying anything else. I don't know why a veteran didn't pull me aside and say, "Girl, go and do some aerobics now." So I jumped in cold turkey on the Monday, and I was fatten. Then a fat And then a fat. It was clear to me on the Monday night when I could not walk and had to soak my feet in Epsom salts and rub down with icy hot that I did not take everything into consideration. But on the Tuesday, bright and early, if you remember Hearts would be the first band to cross the stage. So we were singing the national anthem and then cross it. So we crossed the stage in merriment and we jumped and we waved and we crossed a few more times because we had no behavior. But after the fourth time crossing the stage, we realized old habits would have to come back. Our storming habits. We ran for our lives out of Hearts and headed to the band that we knew would never disappoint. Poison, of course. We found a section in Poison with the same teal colors and we fit ourselves in and we jump and wave and scream to our heart's content. Every time I hear that KMC soca tune, I am reminded of the fantastic time that I had playing Mass. And it makes me say, you see next year, I'm playing again, I'm whining again, I'm jumping, I put all my friends on them. Madam Toastmaster.